Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Stadion an der Bremerbrücke here in Osnabrück. It's crunch time at the top of the German Dritte Liga here. Match day 33, leaders Osnabrück at home here against third place Energie Cottbus. And this is a match that could go a long way to deciding exactly who will go up to the Bundesliga 2 next season. Osnabrück coming into this match very much the form side in the division. And 3 changes made from their shock, let's face it, 1-0 loss away to Duisburg in midweek. Igor Karademir comes in to centre-back with Robin Fabianski picking up an ankle injury during that match. A change also at left wing-back with Fredrik Christensen coming in to replace Tony Lesseur, who drops to the bench. And David Kopas also back into the starting lineup today in place of Ismail Badji. Robin Meissner, meanwhile, leading the line, number 11. 8 goals, 6 assists since the winter break for Meissner. Meanwhile, Energie Cottbus also making 3 changes from their 3-0 win at home to 1860 Munich. Eric Engelhardt leading the line after scoring a hat-trick in that. The changes, though, Henry Rohrig comes in at right back for Lucas Mitchellbrink. That means that Simon Straudi moves from right back to left back, and Axel Borgman moves from left back into midfield. There's also a first ever start for Cottbus for Can Mustafa, 23 substitutes so far this season. This his first start this afternoon, with Yanis Buziaris dropping to the bench. There's also a change out wide with Justin Butler coming in at left wing for his 10th start of the campaign, with Moritz Hannemann also dropping to the bench. We've just seen Timo Schulz there looking rather relaxed in the early afternoon sunshine. And there are the massed ranks of the home fans as well, as the teams come out. And, well, what a second half of the season it's been for Osnabrück. First part of the season, very good defensively, but struggling to score as well. They certainly haven't been struggling to score, though, in recent weeks. In the last 5 games, they've won it in a row now. Here have Osnabrück. They've scored 15, an average of 3 goals a game in those 5 matches. They've conceded just 1. If you want the average, 0.2 of a goal per game. Try slicing that one up. And as you expect in German football, wonderful flags being touted by both sets of fans here. It does appear to be, as you'd expect for a game like this, a packed house. We've got a special treat as well with the officials here this afternoon. Patrick Ittrich, who is by and mostly a Bundesliga referee, along as with the rest of the official team for this match. Sasha Thielert and Thomas Gorniak, they're the 2 referee assistants, and Yannick Sager, the 4th official. The DFB pulling out all the stops here to make sure this game goes without a hitch. Time for a quick huddle then for both sides. Kick-off about to get underway. Quite a few of the fans there behind that goal going to struggle to see kick-off at this rate. Eric Engelhardt, well, what a season he's having. Of course, he's a former Osnabrück player as well, promoted with them back in 2023. 19 goals this season, just 1 behind in the race, the Golden Boot, with, of course, Lars Gindorf of Alemannia Aachen leading the way. That's a battle that seems likely to go right down to the last game of the season. Robin Meissner, top scorer for Osnabrück, 13 goals for him, 19 assists, 9 assists as well to go with that. Also worth noting that in the reverse fixture in the first part of the season, Osnabrück took all 3 points. The 74th minute, Ismail Badji, winner in that one. Badji, of course, down to the bench for this as Sigurci tries an early ball forward here for Cottbus in their usual red and white, kicking from left to right here. Osnabrück, the home side, though, immediately on the attack on this right-hand side. David Kopash, though, unable to get past King Manu. Well, will Cottbus be able to do anything about this miserly Osnabrück defence here this afternoon? High ball lofted in towards the area, well dealt with by Manu, but he's given the ball away straight to Kopash. Kopash back inside to Wagner. Kammerbauer's attempted cross blocked. Get the impression that Cottbus will have to be at their very best defensively here this afternoon. They're going to have to be careful as well with regards to bookings. 6 of the 10 outfield players here for Energie Cottbus, 1 booking away from suspension, which would mean they would lose their next game. Also vital, at home to second place, Rot-Weiss Essen. Massive couple of weeks coming up here for the Crayfishes. You can expect things to be very competitive in midfield here, especially in the early stages. Both teams full of energy. See, Osnabrück, by and large, very comfortable. Engelhardt trying to close down Jonsson. Swedish goalkeeper with 17 clean sheets to his name this season. In fact, I think he's already confirmed himself as the Golden Glove winner. Now then, lovely ball down the inside right channel. Very good defensive work there from a Waterbury Grant. And it's Kale, just a little bit late. There's a little word there for Dominic Pelevan for another challenge earlier, just a minute or so. Klaus-Dieter Wollitz looking as casual as usual. Tends to flow in between the casual and chatty and the incandescent with rage. There doesn't seem to be much in between. Klaus-Dieter Wollitz, 60 years of age. One of the most experienced coaches in the division. Looking for another promotion this season. Rorik swiftly closed down there. Fredrik Christensen pushing really high. Cottbus have got to find a way of squeezing this Osnabrück side. They've been just so controlled. I mean, we'll ignore the midweek game they had against Duisburg, where they just didn't really get going. Duisburg completely shut them out in that one. But here, back on home turf, you've got to imagine it's going to be a difficult day for Energie Cottbus. It's a lovely little hooked ball over the top. Christensen keeping the ball in play, yes, and he gets it to Kale as well. Kale inside, tries to play 1-2, does get the ball back, but couldn't really continue his forward run. Instead, ball goes back to Yigit Karademir. Now Kammerbauer. No way through the middle. Engelhardt dropping deep for Cottbus. There's Can Musfer. Draws the foul. Absolutely surrounded by violet shirts, wasn't he? Now Borgman, making a nice little run off the edge of Karademir, and they managed to win a corner there to Cottbus. First real foray into the final third. And that one coughs up gold, a chance from the set piece now. Well, Manu and a Waterbury Grant will be coming up for this one, the big lads from the back. I imagine Pelevan will be in there as well. They're not the tallest of teams, really, Cottbus, so I wonder if they'll try and play this one short and find a different way into the Osnabrück area. Tell you what, though, 5 red shirts in the 6-yard box. Guess where this is going? whipped in by Rorig, headed away from the edge of that 6-yard box, but only as far as Straudy. Pings that ball over onto that far side. Sigurci picks it up, puts another ball back into the area. Put behind for another corner by Niklas Weimann. Yannick Muller just exchanging pleasantries with his goalkeeper. Rorig again to take this. This time goes short to Sigurci. There's more support out there. Mustafa feeds one into the back post, headed back across goal. Now headed away from around about the penalty spot. Justin Butler wriggles but can't quite keep the ball. And now Robin Meissner and Cottbus trying to instigate a counter-attack. Well, that's good strong play from Butler. Borgman turns away from Meissner. Slows things down for a moment for the away side, but now they start to probe down that left-hand side again. Simon Straudy normally plays on the right, but with Henry Rorig back in the team, shifted over to the left-hand side. Leon Guara, the usual left-back, of course, has been missing for most of the season. It's been a problem position for Cottbus, really, that left-back spot. And the foul there goes against Lars Kale. They do have Anderson Lukoki, the former Angolan international, on the bench. He also plays left back, but hasn't really been. This is the fourth game in a row where he hasn't started, so obviously out of favour at the moment, having started the previous 7. Now Rorig again whips another ball into the area, and well, Engelhardt appeared to get free from his marker, if indeed there was one. Bit of a breakdown in the communications at the back there for Osnabrück. Very, very tight. He was being tracked by Bjarke Jakobsen, but not sure if an offside flag would have gone up there. Of course, no VAR at this level. That was incredibly tight. Weimann this time a little bit clumsy into the back of Butler. Sigurci dropping deep. Watery Grant brings the ball forward, but it's been lost by Borgman. Palavan gets a foot in there. Manu as well might have followed through a little bit onto Lars Kale there. He's gone down on the edge of the centre circle. It was just a follow through. Might just have scraped across the top of the foot, but once you've kicked the ball, you can't just sort of detach your leg and not follow through with it. Momentum is a very real thing. I think the referee treating that absolutely right. I say, real treat to have a Bundesliga referee down here in the Dritte Liga. I hope the players will appreciate it as well. Kale just getting some running repairs. See, they do. So he kicks the ball, and I'm about to say the follow through hits the foot. I'm not sure. Looking at that, another look here. I think the ball has hit his foot. I'm not quite sure. Why has he turned his ankle when moving? I don't know. But 100% looking at that replay there, King Manu I don't think has touched him at all. Certainly not with the kicking motion. Oh, 24-year-old, very important part of this Osnabrück side. 6 goals, 12 assists so far this season. The assist meister, you might say. Same number of assists as Tolkai Sigurci, by the way, on the opposite side. In some ways, quite similar players. Difference with the stats being Sigurdsson has 8 penalties to add to his goal tally. Otherwise they'd be identical. So finally back underway. Now Wagner. Oh, putting in a pacey run here. Feeds the ball out to Kopash on that right-hand side. Kopash, ball into the area, and that's a good take by Marius Funk, coming swiftly off his line. Can't afford any mistakes at the back here today. The likes of Robin Meissner will punish you. Kale getting a bit of applause there as he comes back on the pitch. Looks none the worse for wear, really. Rorik feeds the ball to Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson, very much the creative hub of this Cottbus side as well. The only issue is when he has an off day, and the whole team seems to just sort of collapse a little bit. So when I say off day, I mean what he sometimes does, he just holds on to the ball, takes too many touches, and then just gets crowded out, keeps losing possession. He's doing it for the right reason, but the end product not always there. Was that kept in by Butler? No. And Kale's gone down again. That's not a good sign at all. Well, whatever happened there, he's tried to run it off. Let's have another look. The ball has been kicked into his foot. Well, I must say, I'd find that extraordinary if he's managed to be injured by the ball. Never seen that, must say. In decades of watching football, never seen that. There's going to have to be an early change then for Osnabrück. Now, what's the option they're going to go with? Imagine maybe Ismail Badji. It is indeed Ismail Badji. The Gambian youth product. Swiftly coming on here, the 20-year-old. 6 goals so far this season. Mostly a substitute in the first part of the campaign, been getting a few more starts since then. As Kale just explaining, I think, to his medical colleagues exactly what he thinks has happened. Well, that's a blow. Using Lars Kale. Well, as ever, the Cottbus faithful travelling in big numbers. I just wonder how they're going to adjust themselves here. Looks like Badji setting up on the left-hand side. He usually plays on the right, but then so does Kopash, who is already in situ. That's ball's well won by by Christensen. Badji trying to play the 1-2. Christensen continuing his run. Now trying to release Engelhardt, and the ball has to be put out for a Cottbus throw right down there by the corner flag. I only think with the Lars Kale thing that maybe he already had some sort of knock or injury on that ankle, or just above the ankle, and the ball being kicked directly onto it has made it worse. Now Sigurdsson gets the ball in the area, can't find room for the shot. trying desperately, and then tried to pass the ball out to the left-hand side. Ball picked up again, and it's been tipped round the post by Jonsson. It's been a good start, this, from Cottbus. Not just sitting back. He did well there, Sigurdsson, to win the ball back off of Kopash, having given it away. Quite catch the shot as he may have wanted to. Good save by Jonsson, though, taking no chances, pushing that one round the post. Sigurdsson himself going over to take the corner. Another in-swinger into that 6-yard box by the looks of it. Goes to the back post. Headed back across, but straight out by the Wartby Grant. In fact, has it taken a deflection? Looks like it. And another corner from the opposite side. Is Rorick going to go and take this one, I wonder? Let's have a look here. It just does appear to come off the top of the head, maybe. If you get Karademir. So Rorick again. The red shirts once more accumulating in that 6-yard box. Good looking delivery and a good defensive header as well. Just for the moment, Osnabrück penned into their own area. Strong defending there from Karademir. In fact, no, it wasn't Karademir, was it? It was Christensen with the header. Just behind him, now Manu. Tries to drive that ball in, but doesn't find his marks all the way through to Jonsson, and Osnabrück now with a chance just to relieve that pressure a little bit. Good competitive start to the match, though. Not much in the way of clear-cut opportunities, just that one real shot from Sigurdsson a few moments ago. At the moment we've got two good teams just stretching each other out a little bit. Oh, and that was a loose ball from Karademir. Well, they're lucky to get away with that, or are they? No, the foul's been given as well. That's a poor ball from Karademir, a real hospital ball, I think, for Bjarke Jakobsen. Mustafa getting in ahead. In fact, sorry, it's Wagner. Now then, well, the committee's having a bit of a chat over this free kick. Not quite sure why they won't bother covering their mouths like that. I've got to say, it is quite irritating watching players do that. No need for it. I mean, they're not talking about any official secrets or anything. Now then, Rorick and Sigurdsson standing over it. A nice little dummy, just pushes that defensive line back a little bit, gives a bit more space to play with. And the eventual ball in from Sigurdsson. Just not quite finding its target. Good idea, though, and that's why you have two men over the set piece like that. You can play havoc with the defensive line with a well-timed feint. So 20th minute, still 0-0. That's a nice turn in midfield from Wagner. Gives himself a little bit of space now. The ball over onto that right-hand side. Kopash making a run in front. Meissner trying to get the ball through to Kopash with the first-time pass. But now, Cottbus coming forward. Sigurdsson lifts one in towards Engelhardt. The loose ball falls to Butler. Heads it through to Mustafa. Mustafa goes down in the area. Surely that's not going to be a penalty. He went down in stages there, Mustafa. Going down, going down, going down. All through to Jonsson. There's the claim for the pen. So there's a good pace to the game, good pace to the passing as well. Well, that's nicely taken by Kopash. Kopash faced with Straudi. First attempt at the cross comes straight back to his feet. Kammerbauer His ball in, well defended. That ball well taken by Engelhardt, tries to release Butler, and that's a cracking tackle from Weimann. The ball eventually just dribbles through to Johnson. I think Cottbus have figured out that their best chance of breaking this defensive line is with pace. Brilliant tackle from Weimann there, though. There was Engelhardt winning the ball deep as well. Everyone getting involved. There's no room for passengers in this game. Now, Sigerci. Straudi. Just a little bit optimistic there with the pass through. So Walkman nowhere near it. Well, Borgman say he plays a variety of roles. He's used to be a left back more than anything. Plays a lot in that defensive midfield slot. Plays further forward as well, we've seen this campaign. In a winger role when needed. Plays anywhere. He's probably a brilliant goalkeeper as well. Well, loose pass on the edge of the area from Christensen. Butler trying to weave his way out, wins the throw. Midway through the first half, 0-0. Been a decent game to watch so far, though. Sigerci can't quite take the looping ball there. Well, the offside flag's up against Meissner. Well, he just checked his run, didn't quite check it in time. Quite a tight one, isn't it? No arguments from the players, they knew that was tight. And I think the replay showing just how hard a job the officials have, especially with no VAR to back them up. Now Sigerci comes forward, he's got Rohrig outside him. Here is Rohrig. Back to Sigerci. Sigerci pops one in. I think that was supposed to be a cross for Borgman, but too much on it, straight into the hands of Johnson. A little bit surprised, he just didn't have a pop at goal there. Tolkai Sigerci. Seemed to set up nicely for a left-footed curler. Maybe a little bit far out for the 31-year-old. Cottbus signed his older brother, of course, in the winter transfer window, having trained with the Cottbus squad for a couple of months after being out of contract in the summer. Then signed him in the transfer window. A few games later, I think it was his first start actually. After a few substitute appearances, he then pinged his hamstring. Might not see him again this season. Might not see him again in a Cottbus shirt, actually, full stop. I believe his contract is only to the end of this season. Just bumped from behind by Sigerci. He's getting the wrong side. As soon as you challenge from behind, the player's going to go down. I mean, this being 21st century football, an opportunity now for Osnabrück to load the box. Plenty of purple tops to aim at on the edge of the area. High defensive line. Ball lofted in high. Headed away by Manu. And Sigerci gets on the loose ball. And he's trying to release Engelhardt. Sorry, Mustafa, beg your pardon. Good defensive work from Karademir. Needed to be as well. Back over halfway, Jakobsen. Weimann. Osnabrück taking their time in possession. Now Kopash popping up on the left-hand side. Kopash again, ball in, Meissner making the run to the near post, beaten to it by Wortley Grant, and that will be an Osnabrück corner. Well, look at the counter-attack there. Lovely ball by Sigurci. Good pace from Karademir, actually chasing down the 21-year-old Syrian. Now Fredrik Christensen to take the corner, will be an out-swinger. There's the knot of purple shirts just inside the penalty area, behind the penalty spot. That's exactly where the corner has gone, but and the shot comes in. And wow, what a good low drive from David Kopash. That certainly caused Marius Funke a little bit of panic. It's not far wide, is it? Well, I think Funke probably had that one just about covered. Cleared by Funke, but only as far as Jakobsen. Meissner plays a 1-2 off of Pelivan. Here's Badji. Badji, cuts inside nicely. Still Badji. Still Badji. Space on the right-hand side. Shot rifled in. Well blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. Now Mustafa coming forwards, felled by Karademir, and he picks up the first yellow card of the game, and he's going to miss now Osnabrück's next match. Away to Ingolstadt next weekend. So, 5th yellow card of the season for Karademir. Celebrated his 22nd birthday on Friday. Celebrates it with suspension next week, or maybe he can have a party now. Manu. Lorig. Manu under pressure on the ball, and it's been stolen by Meissner. And that's a good ball as well from Badji, but Meissner couldn't quite keep it in play. Just a missed touch there from the Osnabrück number 11. So he's not usually, or didn't used to be anyway, an out-and-out striker, more of a wide attacker, but he's been moulded into a centre forward now, and his pace is very useful indeed there. Enables him to stretch the play, not so much as a traditional number 9. Like a winger playing through the middle. Butler trying to play his way through the middle there. Managed to make the run, but couldn't take the ball with him. Now Borgman. Out to Mustafa. Mustafa. Well, try to trick too many there, a bit unnecessary. The throw taken quickly. Kopash in behind, drives into the area, puts the ball across goal, taken off the toes of Badji, and eventually scrambled behind. Meissner is in there as well. All came from a quickly taken throw after Mustafa unnecessarily dallied on the ball. In the end, King Manu just about tidying things up. Big stretch there to prevent the initial shot from Meissner. game just starting to open up a little bit as we hit the half-hour mark. Ball down the line, straight out of play though. Did it take a deflection on the way? May have done. Or maybe not. Now Badgie brings down the ball on halfway. Sprints away from Justin Butler like he just wasn't there, and then picks up the return ball from Christensen. Badgie running at Pelivan. Still Badgie, didn't quite catch hold of the shot. That just rolls into the arms of Marius Funk. Back in play with Cottbus. Sigurci dropping very deep this time. Sigurci again picking up on halfway out to Butler on this near side. And the ball's been given away. Now Meissner running at Borgman. Just about keeps... Oh, lovely turn from Meissner. And he gets the ball out there to Wagner. Wagner turns away from one challenge. Engelhardt, though, drops deep, wins the ball back, tries to release Mustafa down that left-hand side. Karademir gets there first. Finding Christensen making a run up that left-hand side from left back. Or the left wing back. Oh, Badgie, nice turn. Finds the shot, tried to loft it into that top corner. Oh, wasn't far off either. Big impact from Ismail Badgie since coming on for the injured Lars Kale. Different sort of player. Kale more technical. Badgie more pace, more running. Direct running as well. Certainly causing some discomfort at the back for Cottbus at the moment. Waterby Grant wasn't the best of passes from the goalkeeper, putting him onto his wrong foot over by the corner flag. He does well to pick out the pass to Manu. Now Rorig. Don't seem to remember that moustache before the injury layoff. Medical layoff. Now Sigurci. Oh, nice run from Straudi. Engelhardt on the turn. Well, that's eventually, I think he's just bumped into the back of Karademir there, Engelhardt. Giving away the free kick. That's a pity. Karademir facing his own goal line. Couldn't resist having a bit of a nibble, Engelhardt. Kopash. First touch takes him outside Straudi, who then blocks the attempted cross. Does well to keep upright there, and he's just been put to ground. The referee waves play on. Mustafa, long ball forward. Engelhardt getting ahead on it. Karademir hooks it back into the Cottbus half. Rorig now to Borgman. Ball ending up with Pelivan. Sigurci again dropping into this deep right position. I know he likes to get involved in the play, but it does mean he's not really in position to damage the opposition, and they've lost the ball there, Cottbus. Badji, good tackle from Pelavan. Now Straudi again, out to Mustafa. Miscontrol, a rare miscontrol, you have to say. From Sigurci, and now Badji picking up the ball on that right-hand side. He can run to Wartby Grant here. That's very good defending from a Wartby Grant. Badji, though, momentarily got the ball back, only to be tackled again. Good play from Cottbus there. Now Rorik brings it over halfway. Back into Sigurci. Sigurci just tried to flip that one through for the run of Engelhardt. They get the ball back on halfway. Good balance to the game as well. Both teams, it feels like both sides feel that they can damage the other in the final third. They can't press too much forward on it, otherwise they'll leave themselves open at the back. Both teams just trying to find that balance between the two phases of the game. We have just, 8.5 minutes to go before the break. Although we will actually have a good couple of minutes, I suppose, added on for the original Lars Kale injury. He went down. Still an extraordinary injury, that one, for Lars Kale. King Manu clearing the ball going straight into his side of the ankle by the looks of it, just above. Had some medical attention, tried running it off, just sat down on the pitch. Meissner, Kopash. Well, Kopash going down. Oh, and he's got a free kick in a very dangerous spot here, the pole. The Osnabrück players will be lining up to have a crack at this one. It looks like a lovely spot for a direct free kick. And I think I've got to agree with Axel Borgman on that. He's put his foot in, won the ball. Kopash has just fallen over, and I think he's conned the referee on that one. This would be harsh if there was an opening goal from this. 7 minutes to go in this first half. Plenty of noise from the fans, as you'd expect. Looks like Robin Meissner fancies this. He's there in the double teapot position. Usually signifies I'm going to take this free kick. Just ask Cristiano Ronaldo. Now then, Meissner, 5-man walk. Can he get it up and over? Maybe into that top right-hand corner. Or maybe it's all a feint. Plenty of teammates in there. It's blasted straight into the wall. And that will be an Osnabrück corner. Didn't quite get the height on it that he needed. There, Robin Meissner. Now Steve Bullets prowling the sidelines. I wonder if he's got any changes up his sleeve for the start of the second half. You've seen those half-time substitutions become more and more popular with coaches, especially with the 5 substitute rule now that we've had since, of course, the COVID break. Meissner makes a run to the near post. The ball goes to the back post. Manu climbs highest and puts it behind. And the referee has seen a transgression somewhere in that 6-yard box and gives the free kick to Cottbus. And Engelhardt picking up the loose ball. Kopash was back defending there. Timo Schultz looking pretty calm on the sidelines. Now Butler on the ball. Whips across in, chance for Engelhardt, and a really sharp bit of defending from Yannick Müller. Engelhardt might just have taken a knock on the ankle. I think he might have Just a knock. But the ball cleanly won there by Muller. No hard feelings from Engelhardt, who, to be fair, is not one of the, shall we say, more argumentative players in the division. Usually pretty calm. Now Sigurdsson with the corner. Goes to the back post. And that's put behind for another corner. Henrik Muller shrugs his shoulders. Well, he thought there was a push. There probably was a push. I'm sure players from both teams were pushing each other as the ball came in. Such is the way with set pieces these days. All sorts of runs and blocking going on in that 6-yard box. Ball goes to the near post this time. Towering header away. Mustafa picks up the loose ball. Now Sigurdsson. Bit of a deflection on the cross. Just goes over the head of Justin Butler. Pelivan picks up the loose ball. Borgman makes a run into the corner. He's followed by Meissner. Nice little bit of trickery there. Now he whips the ball into the edge of the area. No room for the shot though. And eventually stabbed clear. Straudi quickly gets the ball back to Mustafa again. Mustafa has a pop at goal, but that's always going high and wide. And that was the Well, that was put behind. Well, that was given as a corner, wasn't it? But it looked like it was quite clearly Engelhardt that kicked it, and then actually had a little bit of a follow-up kick there from Muller. It could be there that Osnabrück have gotten away with what could have been a penalty. Tolkai Sigurdsson, by the way, 8 from 9 from the penalty spot this season for Cottbus. Not had a penalty for a while though, but it's not an opportunity you'd want to give him. Meanwhile, Osnabrück have received just 2 penalties all season, and not since match day 7. They also, along with Waldorf Mannheim, the only team yet to concede a penalty this season. Kopash, shoulder to shoulder from Butler. Kopash just going down a little bit too easily there. Now Butler again on the ball. Gets past Jakobsen. Can't get past Weimann. Now Badji with a chance to turn and run at Manu. Badji cuts inside. Well, Manu says he got a piece of the ball. I think I'd agree with him, but I think he might have got a piece of the player as well. An opportunity from the set piece, right in front of those Cottbus fans behind that goal. And the Osnabrück players and the defensive line all lining up on the edge of that area. This ball just needs to be squeezed just in behind, just like that. And it just evades the jump of Yannick Muller. Good ball in. Well, he didn't evade him, he did get a touch, just didn't get the correct touch. That was a good delivery. And Cottbus was struggling to defend that. As I say, they're not the tallest team, apart from the 2 centre-backs. There's not much height in that team at all. Pelivan, arguably. But if you look at the top 4, the front 4 there today for Cottbus, and there's no real height there at all. That does not help when it comes to defending set pieces. Sigurdsson pops the ball over the top as we go into first half stoppage time here. There's an offside flag up as the clock ticks past 45, and quite rightly so as well. Couldn't quite get back into that onside position before the pass was played. Ball driven long. Demir, ball up into the air. Ball given away by Weimann. Butler couldn't ball past, just a yard in front of him. Picks up the ball on this right-hand side. Ball comes back in. And the referee brings a fast-paced first half to a close here at the Stadion and the Bremer Brücke. So far, well, 0-0 between first and third in the table. Osnabrück scored 4 goals in each of their last 2 home games. They haven't managed to breach the Cottbus defence just as yet, and the visitors giving as good as they get so far as well. Clear chances at a premium, but it's a high-quality first half here, and it's Osnabrück 0, Energie Cottbus 0. Back with the players as they stream back out onto the pitch. There's our Bundesliga referee for the day. He's had a pretty good game in that first half. Or possible penalty shout. Maybe missed, but it's been very difficult to spot that one without VAR, with the, I suspect, the point of contact on the blind side to the referee. Timo Schulz still wearing that smile, the calm demeanour, very much borne out with the way his team plays, calm and collected. Eric Engelhardt, former Osnabrück player, say promoted with them 3 years ago up into the Bundesliga 2. 19 goals this season for Klaus-Dieter Bollich's side. And again, we've seen another glimpse of Hannemann on the sidelines, about to come on. We didn't see a number on the board yet, though. See exactly who he's coming on for. In fact, 2 changes coming in here. Justin Butler being replaced by Hannemann. Buziaris looks like he's about to come on as well. Unsurprisingly, that's in place of Can Mustafa, who's very little the Syrian in his first ever start after 23 substitute appearances. So 2 changes made by Cottbus just to try and give them a bit more zip in the final third. Confirmation, Can Mustafa and Justin Butler being taken off. Moritz Hannemann and Yanis Buziaris coming on in their place. What difference is that going to have to the way the game's being played, I wonder? Hannemann, 7 goals, 4 assists so far this season, very much the first choice on that left-hand side. And that's a nice ball through for Engelhardt, but he's just straight offside there. Quite the same production from Buziaris. There's the warning up on the screen there about pyrotechnics. Well, that's closing the stable door after the horse has bolted, isn't it? Hopefully won't get too much smoke coming onto the pitch. Looks like the wind is into their faces in that stand behind the goal to our left, so that smoke shouldn't spill onto the pitch. And the players will just be able to get on with it. Long ball down that left channel. Being chased down by Christensen. He's done well to win the ball back as well. Osnabrück is happy to keep possession at the moment. Badji, faced by Segerci, decides just to lay the ball off. Intercepted then by Rorik. Rorik goes past 2 down that right-hand side. Henry Rorik Couldn't quite find the pass to Engelhardt, though. Just a little bit short on pace. And a little nudge into the back of Bjarke Jakobsen. Coughs up the free kick. Worth noting, Boziaris, who's just been brought on. It was his birthday on Friday. Now 23 years of age. Now Sergetchi finds Boziaris in a bit of space there in the centre circle. Lays the ball off to Straudi. He's got Hannemann outside him, Straudi. Straudi cuts inside onto his right foot to Sergetchi. Sergetchi, though, has the ball taken off him by Christensen. Goes down, holding his head and leg by the looks of it. Meanwhile, a nice little 1-2, and now it's Kopash into a little bit of space on this near side. Borgman coming across and snuffing out the danger. Long throw coming up from Kammerbauer, headed away from the near post by Pelivan, helped away. Crunching tackle from Kammerbauer. Get some applause from the home fans. And from his coach as well, perhaps more importantly. Now Sergetchi turns on the ball, moves it quickly to Boziaris. Boziaris has the ball taken off of him by Wagner. Kopash back as well. Kammerbauer goes all the way back to Jonsson. Glass it long. One in the air by Manu. It's only as far as Christensen, who brings it over halfway now for Osnabrück. Christensen looks up, tries to drive the ball into the area. Badji with the finish, and Badji with the opening goal. Clinical from Osnabrück. And a lovely finish from Ismail Badji, who's been so dangerous since coming on for the injured Lars Gale. And the deadlock has been broken. 7th goal for the season for Ismail Badji. I suspect that's not what Klaus-Dieter Wollitz wanted to see after making those changes at half-time. I think he's having a chat with the fourth official there about that earlier challenge on Sergetchi, who, by the way, is back on his feet and appears to be fine. Manu winning the header on halfway. Christensen getting the ball here. An injection of pace down that side. Just drilled the ball across into the area. And the first time finish from Badji. Didn't need power, just needed placement from there. A bit of pace on the shot as well. I think his teammates enjoyed that one. No, Badji with the opening goal. Christensen with his 4th assist of the season. Now then. Oh, ball given away by Boziaris. Meissner. Got Boziaris for company. Eventually gives away the corner. And all of a sudden, Osnabrück with their tails up here, attacking the goal with their fans behind it there. Now all the pressure on Cottbus. So a win here today for Cottbus would leave the top 3 teams in the division all within 1 point of each other. Osnabrück and Essen on 64, Cottbus on 63. A win, though, for Cottbus, for Osnabrück, I beg your pardon, would leave them on 67, Essen on 64, and Cottbus rather lagging behind on 60, the same as Duisburg, and only 1 point ahead of Hansa Rostock in the battle for third. Now the corner, whipped into the near post. Hacked away, good first touch from Christensen. Ooh, poor touch there, though. And he's going to get a yellow card as well, Fredrik Christensen. Just trying to chase back there on Henry Rorik. Looks like Rorik's has been caught on the left ankle there. Out comes the ice pack. There'll be some magic spray in that bag somewhere as well. Let's have another look at the goal while Rory gets some treatment. So he looked up a couple of times, spotted the run from Badgie and just laid the ball perfectly across the edge of the area. Badgie now leading the dance floor as well. Where does the game go from here? Cottbus will have to push forward. That will leave them vulnerable at the back. And if there's one team capable of punishing teams leaving gaps at the back, it's Osnabrück. And they are absolutely the worst team to fall behind. So 17 clean sheets this season, 8 in 13 since the winter break. Well, they've really clicked into another gear. I mean, they've been so good that loss at Duisburg in midweek was feels like a real aberration, even though it was away to one of the best teams in the division, and in fact the only team unbeaten at home this campaign, Duisburg. So in the grand scheme of things, perhaps not the worst of results. And a big cheer there as Marius Funk just smashes the ball into the stand. A bit of frustration there in the Cottbus ranks. Kamabau to Kopash. Hanneman in there trying to win the ball, and it's pretty much his first touch, and I think he's gone in a little bit high with the studs there. Picked up his 6th booking of the season. And the first booking of the game for Cottbus as well. Well, more defending to be done for the away side. Osnabrück very much on top early in this second half after a pleasingly even first period. Kamabauer plays the ball into the area, but just a little bit too close to the keeper, and Funk takes that one nicely. Plays it out to Rorig on that right-hand side. Rorig coming forwards. He went past a couple, but now he's been tackled, and Badgie trying to instigate the counter-attack, and Rorig might just have taken him down off the ball. No, referee says get up. Meissner all the way into the far corner there. King Manu winning the throw. Now Pelavan, Rorig just clears that one down the line, but only as far as Jakobsen. And the ball cleared long, but only as far as Karademir, who goes all the way back to Jonsson. Immediately moves out into a position to receive the ball. It goes the other way though, down the left. Long diagonal ball, just looking for the run of Kopash, but he didn't quite have the pace to burst onto that, so a Walkley Grant now in possession. Zagurci once again dropping deep. Now Rorig. Rorig tries to feed that one through for the run of Borgman, making his run from midfield. Meissner been in fantastic form the second half of this season. He was decent in the first part, but really burst into life. So Straudy taken off. With Lucas Mitchellbrink coming on, so Mitchellbrink will go into a midfield, and I assume Axel Borgman now will just drop back into left back. So he does play there quite a lot anyway. Unless, of course, Hanneman decides to play at left back. That would be a slightly strange decision. Now Rorik puts a good ball in across the 6-yard box. No one really there, though. Kammerbauer lets that one run out for an Osnabrück throw. Lucas Mitchellbrink yet to find the back of the net this season. He has provided 6 assists, though, in his just 17 starts. He's had assists in the last 2 games as well. And again, coaches just shuffling their pack just to manage the minutes in this at the end of this English week. We are seeing some slightly odd lineups from some teams. Wagner just clipping the back of a Waltby Grant. Now Borgman coming up from that left back position, gets down to the byline. Good tackle from Kammerbauer. I think the away fans unhappy not to get a corner. And perhaps rightly so. Ball well won by Pelevan. Now Borgman gets the ball to the central defenders. King Manu drifts forward. Mitchellbrink gets his first touch. Now Borgman plays it off the legs of Karademir to create a Cottbus corner. Well, had quite a few corners in the first half, did Energie Cottbus. Were able to keep Osnabrück penned into their own box for periods of that first half. So Boziaris goes over to take it. He's got Sigurci for company. Boziaris going to aim this at those red shirts in the area, headed away from just inside the 6-yard box. Mitchellbrink just brushed off the ball by Badji. Long ball down the line. I think it's just curved out, though. All flicked on. Engelhardt trying to get involved. He's not had a lot of service as Eric Engelhardt in this game, so hat-trick in midweek. Against an inconsistent, shall we say, 1860 Munich side. I don't think they know how to do anything else other than be inconsistent, you know. Now Waltby Grant drifts that one into the back post. Well taken down by Engelhardt, but second defender steps in, puts his foot through it. Manu to Mitchellbrink. Mitchellbrink picks out Borgman. Borgman brings the ball forward, chips that one in towards the run of Engelhardt. Well headed down there by Hanneman. Borgman gets another ball into the area and just smashed out of play from the edge of the 6-yard box. Only for a throw. Here's Hanneman again. Boziaris Does well to wrap his foot round that one, and a good thumping header away from this penalty spot. Rorig has a go with his weaker left foot. Now it really has been cleared. It's going to be another Cottbus throw, so just after the hour mark here, Cottbus trying to get back into the game here after 50th minute opener from Ismail Badji. Lovely sweeping move down the left-hand side, and the first time touch just beating Marius Funk for pace at his near post. Van to Mitchellbrink. Mitchellbrink out wide. Here to Hanneman, his fellow half-time, or his fellow substitute. Manu. Out to Rorig. Not the best of passes for Rorig, though, onto his weaker foot. Now a walk we grant. Palavan making a run forwards here. Sigurci eventually rips one out to Borgman on this near side. Borgman now with the cross. It's a bit high and floaty. Little bit of shin in that one, I think. And the first change, second change then coming from Osnabrück. I think that's Fredrik Christensen coming off. Tony Lesueur coming on, who he replaced left wing back for this one. After Lesueur, the Frenchman, started in midweek. Normally more of an attacking midfielder, but again, skills can be interchangeable these days. I think he's just going to slot straight into that left wing back position. Meanwhile, Cottbus coming forwards again. Engelhardt attempts the cross. Here's Mitchellbrink. Skirts past one. Goes past another Mitchellbrink. Well, wins a corner. I think the away fans wanted a penalty. The skills here from Mitchellbrink, though. Slightly loose touch there. And Muller comes across and deals with it. And Buziaris again to take the corner. It's going to be a little bit of a delay here. One of the Osnabrück defenders going to ground with all the bumping and grinding going on in that 6-yard box. Ball does come in now, headed away. Only as far as Sigurci. Sigurci tries his luck from distance, but didn't quite get the curl on that hit that he needed. 14 goals this season, but only 6 of those in open play. The other 8 coming from the penalty spot. He's still very much the creative hub of this team. 12 assists so far this season, and goodness knows how many pre-assists, as in the pass before the assist. He's the man who makes this team tick. Jakobsen heading the ball on. And that pass is a little bit short for Funk, and Badji was closing down. Funk just had to clear that any old how. Long ball over the top, or throw rather over the top. Meister couldn't quite collect it. Sigurci battling away in midfield. There's a little tug on the number 10 shirt, I think, from Badji. A bit unnecessary when someone's sitting so deep, but that's a nice ball through for Buziaris. Now Engelhardt. Engelhardt couldn't quite find the cross as Buziaris had continued his run into the area. Mitchellbrink tidying up in midfield, gets the ball back to Funk. Now Manu. Engelhardt calling for it. Goes over him, but it will pick out Hanneman in behind. Kammerbauer sliding in and conceding the corner. Giaris again goes across to take it. midway through the second half. Osnabrück, with that 1-goal lead, it will stretch their lead over Essen to 3 points at the top of the table. Not a lot of grass in that corner, is there? It's a nicely flattened patch of mud. Good old-fashioned bit of football pitch. The rest of it, though, absolutely superb. Ooh, whipped in again. Oh, and that was close. Manu was arriving. No one really tracking the big centre-back's run there. He got the touch. He beat Jonsson to it. And lucky to get away with that one, Osnabrück. Just needed a bit firmer touch there, King Manu. He has scored once so far this season, back on a match day 25 at Erzgebirger Aue. That would have been the perfect time to pick up number 2 for the campaign. Now Hannemann tries to trick his way past. He gets in behind Karademir, who then coughs up the foul as well. And the free kick's been taken quickly. Hannemann into the area. And the shot blocked, and then Sigurdsson clumsy into the back of Patrick Kammerbauer. The referee getting that call right. And then quick thinking from Sigurdsson and Hannemann. And it needed a good block there from Bjarke Jakobsen. Clipped long. Kopash was trying to get a touch there. I think Axel Borgen just going to be pushed back a little bit, a bit closer to where the ball actually went out of play. Now long throw down the line. Engelhardt was trying to lay that off for Hannemann. And the throw does indeed go Osnabrück's way. Looks like one of the Cottbus coaches, someone from the Cottbus technical area, has been sent to the stands there. Definitely wasn't Klaus-Dieter Wollitsch. He was trying to play peacemaker there now. Buziaris. Nice ball inside for Mitchellbrink. Mitchellbrink into space. Fades the ball out over to Sigurdsson on that far side. Sigurdsson cuts in onto his left foot. And the shot takes a deflection out for a corner. Cottbus really turning up the wick here in the second half, trying to chase down this Osnabrück lead. Absolutely crowding that 6-yard box. All comes in, headed away, and there's a foul as well. Good delivery in there. And well, Jakobsen eased off the ball by Hannemann. I think the injury, it's not from the challenge, it's from how I think he just sort of half landed, half rolled onto the base of the post there with his lower back. Well, now he's rolled over to cuddle the post as well. I'm sure it's just maybe a bang and a bruise back there. Didn't look like he hit the post all that hard with the initial contact. That's not to say that he can't be injured. I mean, we obviously didn't think that Lars Kale would have to be forced off by the ball hitting his foot in the first half. A new one for me, I'm sure for most of you as well. But that's exactly what happened. I don't think they'll want to lose Bjarke Jakobsen here. So he's a vital part of that midfield machine for Osnabrück. We do have the likes of Robert Tescher and Brian Henning on the bench. can slot in. Gilbert Tesha, 38 years young. He's 39 next month. Just a bunch of substitutes since the winter break. Jakobsen, holding his lower back. There's going to be a big angry bruise down there, I think, by tomorrow morning. Is he going to be able to run that one off? It might be a little bit sore and awkward. I think once the adrenaline kicks in, he should be all right. I'm sure he's had a bit of magic spray and sponge on there as well. Badgie, well tackled over on that far side. Sorry, Lesueur. Tackled as Bjarke Jakobsen comes back on. The Danish midfielder not willing to give up on this game just as yet. Especially as his side are just defending that 1-goal lead. Karademir having to come across there and put the ball out of play. I must say, since the changes, Cottbus have been much improved. Buziaris adding a little bit of extra zip and guile in midfield, or attacking midfield. Hanneman certainly more effective out wide than Butler. That's also creating a bit more space for Sigurdsson to operate in as well, which you suspect is the grand plan as far as Cottbus are concerned. Everything pretty much flows through their number 10. Does mean they can be a little bit lost sometimes when Sigurdsson isn't playing. And he is one booking away from a suspension as well, which is worth taking into account, as is Engelhardt, by the way, and the captain Borgman, and King Manu. Oh, and Dominic Pelavan as well. All over the top, well defended there by Borgman. A Swiss Army footballer rather than a Swiss Army knife. Lots of aspects, can do lots of jobs. Now Rorig comes up down the right, not the best of balls for Sigurdsson, but he does win the throw as the Turkish number 10. Mitchell Brink. He's a 1-2, but that's a loose ball. It's rather half in between Sigurdsson and Rorig. Straight to an Osnabrück player instead. 15 minutes to go, ball cleared long by Jonsson. Osnabrück, defending that lead, but now Badgie has stolen the ball over on that far side. Oh, tried to play the ball through for Meissner. Just intercepted by Manu. I think Manu's been pretty impressive today. Well, that's a lovely play. Now from Lesueur. Curls the ball in, well taken by Funk. Manu back out to a Watery Grant. Watery Grant decides to embark on a sashaying run forwards, continues that run as well after laying it off to Sigurdsson, and here he is now popping up on the right wing. Oh, and he managed to cut inside his man, but then tripped over the ball. There is Lars Kale. He came off early in the first half after the ball hit his right foot. How dare it? Looks like there's a little bit of extra strapping round there. So I can only think there was some sort of existing injury or knock or niggle. It's just been made worse by the contact of the ball, but it's still a strange one. Skills there from the 60-year-old Klaus-Dieter Wollitz. You don't lose it, you've always got it. Borgman reacting quickly to the ball over the top. Oh dear, well, that's a bad ball from Buziaris, and Manu having to swiftly come across to take the ball ahead of Badji. Eventually a Walkley Grant goes down, a little bump from Meissner. They were under all sorts of pressure there at the back. Cottbus all started from a terrible back pass from Yanis Buziaris. Walkley Grant picking out the run of Hanneman. He really had nothing to do there other than play it off Karademir. Now Boardman, Hanneman makes a little bit of space, couldn't quite get the cross out. Friedlin Wagner coming across. Will be another corner though for Energie Cottbus. That's so many of these. Every single one of them has been smashed into the 6-yard box. The last one nearly coughed up a goal for King Manu, with his header just going the wrong side of the upright. Now will they change things up? Well, of course they won't. 7 red shirts in the area. You can see the other 2 lining up there, everyone in their own box for Osnabrück. Brink makes a dummy run short. Ball whipped into the 6-yard box, again headed away. Rorig picks that one up, thinks about the shot. Well, there's a present for one of the travelling away fans there. I suspect that ball isn't coming back to the officials. Packed house here today. That's not a good ball out from the back from Funk, straight out, from Jonsson, straight out for a Cottbus throw. Now the ball back to Funk. Badji just doing enough put off the centre backs. Mitchell Brink drops deep. Now Buziaris. Osnabrück trying to keep their defensive shape here. Cottbus trying to shake them out of it. That long diagonal ball was a good idea. Borgman couldn't collect. With the header. Meissner couldn't quite find space to operate in. Sigurci with a nice ball for Hanneman. Sigurci then takes it off his toes. Rather made the same run there, didn't they? I'm not sure Sigurci sticking his oar in particularly helped on that occasion. A lot of defending being done here by Osnabrück. Nicely nodded down. Engelhardt, though, his ball just wouldn't come down for him to take the shot. Now Meissner. Get that ball through to Badji. Has he been clattered by Buziaris? No, says the referee. Yes, says the referee. No. A little bit of confusion there. Buziaris went straight through him from behind. And here come the last of the Cottbus substitutes. Dominic Pelavan coming off with Ted Tatamush, of all people, coming on in his place, and Henry Rorig as well. Also being replaced. Let's see, I must say, who was coming on for him. Tim Kampulka. Okay. I wonder if they're just going to a back three here. All of them being pressed up into midfield. Kampulka very much a centre-back, not a right-back. It's only his second substitute appearance in 11 matches. He's been either on the bench or not in the squad the rest of that time. Ted Tatamush, meanwhile, just 1 assist for the striker so far this season. 6 games without any action till this is a 3rd game in a row as a substitute, but he's had very little impact on the side this campaign, almost more of a placeholder. Can he do something here, I wonder? Oh, and the ball taken. And then one back by Osnabrück. As Yaris tackles that off the toes of Karademir. Kampulka had an interesting start to the season. Scored a late own goal to gift Saarbrücken a point in their opening game of the campaign. Scored the winner at Schweinfurt match day 2. Now Badji running at Borgman. Borgman, though, puts that out for an Osnabrück corner. All the changes that can be made for Cottbus have been now. 2 at half-time. 1 on the hour mark and another 2 just there. Osnabrück got 3 substitutes left, and Timo Schultz using them all right here. So Brian Henning coming on, Theo Janota coming on as well. So a centre-back and a central midfielder. That ball played into just near the penalty spot. Meister couldn't take the touch. Sigurci couldn't get that past Lesseur. Sorry, Kopash over on that far side, and he just barges into the back of the pole, pushes him again. Then they're all just throwing themselves on the floor over there. Well, the referee clearly blew for the original foul. Sigurci then with another foul as well. He's going to be quite lucky to get away without a yellow card here, Sigurci. Referee wanting a pointed word with Kopash as well. Proper handbag moments between those two. Clearly a foul from Sigurci, though. So here come the changes then. Karademir, I think, is being replaced by Janota. 22-year-old centre-back coming on for his 14th appearance of the season. And Kopash being replaced by Brian Henning. In the centre of midfield. And rather interestingly there, I've got to say that Ismail Badji, the most dangerous player on the pitch, has also been withdrawn. With forward Bernd Reiselman coming on in his place. A 20-year-old striker, just the 1 goal to his name this season, as this free kick whipped into just underneath the crossbar. Whistle going again. If the game is a little bit stop-start in this last part of the match, that's really going to suit Osnabrück down to the ground as they defend this 1-goal lead for what would be a 5th clean sheet in 6 home matches and their 9th in 14 since the winter break. That is the form of champions. Ziaris. Cottbus in possession, but not posing a threat at the moment. Funk might need to go a little bit more direct here, and he does. Looking for the run of Borgman in behind. Borgman goes down looking for a free kick, gets nothing from the referee. Ziaris keeps the ball in play. Now Meissner, bumped from behind, goes down. The referee pinging Hannemann for the foul. Just wonder if Badji just isn't quite fully fit. So he came on in what, about 15th, 20th minute or so. The home fans looking pretty happy. We've got a yellow card now for another one of the Cottbus coaching staff. And I don't know if there was a previous talking to someone that the referee looking very angry with, pointing to the stands. I wonder if that's now two coaching staff. In trouble with the referee. Well, maybe it's the same one, and that was the warning earlier. Now Meissner in behind, couldn't quite find the cross there. Tim Kampulka freshly off the bench, having to come across there. Close that one down. It's opened up for a moment there for Osnabrück. We go into the 90th minute. There will be a few minutes added on. He had that stoppage for Bjark Jakobsen. He crashed into the base of the post. Now Henning, substitute. Take the corner. Goes to the back post. Now Sigurci just on the edge of his own area. Skates past one challenge. Now the long ball out, looking for the run of Ziaris. 6 minutes added on at the end of this second half as well. 6 minutes for Cottbus to try and get back on level terms. 6 minutes for Osnabrück to hold out. Ball headed away by Manu. Meissner's touch just lets him down. Not had his best game here today, Robin Meissner. Hasn't been given much space, that has to be said though, by this Cottbus back four. Breached once, but other than that, been a pretty even game. Now a long ball over the top, looking for Engelhardt. Sigurci wins the header, Ziaris picks up the ball. Still Ziaris. Manages to find the pass out to Borgman on this near side. He whips a ball into the area, flicked on. And a reaction header from Sigurci. Not really his métier, is it? Now Marius Funk blasts this one long. Kampulka's up there, the centre-back. Half wins the ball, has it taken off his toes then by Lesueur. Reiselman couldn't quite break free. We might have another chance here. Good tackle coming across from Borgman. Osnabrück continue to come forward. There's an offside flag maybe over on that far side. Cottbus trying to hurry things up at the moment. Getting a little bit harem-scarum. Long ball. Helped away by Henning. Now he's going to pick up the loose ball here. It's going to be Osnabrück. There could be a chance on the counter-attack, and there is. Meissner. Well, decided against trying to get the second goal, instead just tried to slow things down a bit. Maybe take the ball into the corner. A little bit negative, there's still 4 minutes to play. If you're in the last minute, you understand that, but 4 minutes to go. Chance for a second goal, close out the game. It's a little bit cynical, isn't it? Now Tatamush beaten to it by Weimann. He just lofts the ball forward for Osnabrück, straight into the hands of Funk. And again, this long ball's forward now. Tatamush winning that in the air. Sergerci picks up the loose ball on this near side. Sergerci. Oh, 2 Osnabrück players for company over there. He wins the throw. Borgman now. Doesn't have the longest of long throws, but he can certainly get it into the area from here. Goes into the near post, flicked on by Borgman, flicked over the top by Sergerci and straight out for an Osnabrück goal kick. It looks like Cottbus going to come up just short here. So it's going to stretch things out at the top of the table. Osnabrück will be quite happy with that because Essen at the moment are on fire. Nazara, Alemannia Aachen. Aachen, by the way, up to 7th in the table now. Absolutely amazing for a side that were flirting with relegation not so long ago. Now Meissner. He's going to go straight for this corner flag, isn't he? Here he goes. And well, just waste a few extra seconds with Buziaris on the case. Cottbus going to be stuck on the same points as Duisburg. And in fact, only ahead of them on goals scored, by the way, if the score remains as this. Osnabrück score another, and they'll drop down to 5th behind Duisburg on goal difference. Now Mitchell-Brink. It's all a bit hurried at the moment from Cottbus. And then under pressure, ball straight out of play from Funk. At the top 5 in the table. We have Hansa Rostock on 59. Duisburg and Cottbus both on 60. Cottbus ahead, say on goals scored. Then Essen 4 points ahead on 64 and Osnabrück on 67. And Cottbus at home to Essen next week. Huge game. Now, Henning brings the ball in the area. Still Henning. Good save from Funk. Had to stand tall there. Sergerci picking up the ball inside his own area. Waltby Grant somehow on halfway. Blocks. Henning flies in, wins the ball. Now Reiselmann. Reiselmann brings the ball up to the edge of the area. Nice ball through for Weimann. What's he doing there? A centre-back making the run-up when defending a 1-goal lead in the final minute. Bizarre. It makes for a great spectacle. Manu's attempted clearance into towards the Osnabrück box. Not quite coming off. Now the ball floats forward, but it's too much on it. Engelhardt can't get there and it just dribbles out for a goal kick. The Osnabrück players celebrating that like the final whistle's gone. And indeed, the final whistle has gone. The celebrations on the sidelines, the celebrations in the stands, and Osnabrück have taken a huge step to a return to Bundesliga 2 here this afternoon at their Stadion an der Bremer Brücke. A single goal from Ismail Badji just 5 minutes into the second half. The difference between the two sides. Osnabrück under pressure after that. Cottbus, though, not quite with the quality to break down the best defence in the division. An 18th clean sheet of the season for them. And Osnabrück go 4-3 clear. The Rot-Weiss Essen at the top of the table with a 1-0 win here at home to Energie Cottbus.